Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my basement workshop. Today we're going to be talking about insecticidal soap. What is it? Why you want to use it? If we have not met yet, my name is Quincy Adams and I want to help you grow some of your own food in a small space on a budget. Let's get started. Okay, so insecticidal soap, or it's sometimes called horticultural soap, it's just a type of pesticide that's made with ingredients that are non-toxic or have a low toxicity to your plants and to beneficial insects. So those and insecticidal soaps work by suffocating the insects. So it only works on soft-bodied insects like mealybugs and spider mites and aphids, which are a huge problem in your garden. But so what it does is the soap actually dissolves the waxy layer, the waxy outer coating on the bugs, and then the bugs suffocate. So it's not necessarily going to kill them all. It is going to coat them, and it's going to make them, it's going to make your plant not a good place for those kinds of bugs to hang out. You can buy this in the store, or you can make your own. If you're buying it in the store, make sure you pay attention to whether or not it's labeled as concentrate or ready to use, or it might say RTU for ready to use. And if it's ready to use, then follow the instructions. If it's concentrate, make sure you dilute it properly and follow the instructions, follow the instructions, follow the instructions, follow the instructions. You can make your own insecticidal soap. It's pretty cheap. It's very effective for as much as it costs. I like to make my own, and I like to make it out of Castile soap. And this is something that I just bought at Walmart. It's pretty cheap. And I actually specifically bought peppermint because peppermint is a good additive to add to insecticidal soap if you're making your own. So if you're going to make your own, make sure that you're using a ratio of not more than like 1 to 2% of the actual soap. You can use dish soap, but make sure that the dish soap doesn't have any degreasers or bleach or any other kind of additives, because those can harm your plants. So I see a lot of people say, oh yeah, just use Blue John. Make sure that you're reading the ingredients before you use it, because the whole point of using something that you already have in your house is that it's supposed to be low in toxicity. But if you use like ultra degreasing dish detergent, then it's going to have toxic ingredients in it that are going to be added to your plant. So what you want to do when you're actually using this is you want to spray it either in the morning or in the evening when there are no beneficial insects present. Should not hurt them, but you don't want to spray them just in case. You want to make sure you're not doing it in full sun or when the temperature is above 90 degrees. So like in the morning or in the evening, whenever you water your plants first, spray the insecticidal soap on them. Make sure you get the tops and the bottoms of the leaves. And if your plants, or if you're worried about your plants, just let it dry and then wash it off, like spray just with clean water. It's only going to work, it's only effective while it's still wet. So when you spray, you want to make sure you get it like, make sure you get the whole leaf surface nice and wet, but you don't want to be like constantly spraying it, because you can hurt your leaves if you're constantly spraying them with a soap solution. And definitely, if you're concerned about that, just wash it off, let it dry, and then come back, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes later or an hour later, and just spray it down, and then it'll be all off your plants. This should not be used on any kind of plant with a waxy leaf, because you're going to damage the leaves. There's a list. Here are some of the plants that you should not use it on besides anything with a waxy leaf: sweet peas, nasturtiums, cherries, plums, azaleas, geraniums, ivies, or ferns. So do not use an insecticidal soap on those types of plants. And it also works as a leaf wash. So if you've got some kind of like honeydew or a mildew or a mold that's like sitting on your leaves, an insecticidal soap will help with that. The basic recipe is just 1 to 2 tablespoons per or one, actually 2.5 to 5 tablespoons of soap per gallon of water. You can also use other things like garlic and onions. So if you're going to use garlic and onions in there that are fresh, what you want to do is chop them up, put them in a pan of water, bring it to a boil, let it simmer for 20 minutes, and then strain the solids. You can also add peppermint essential oils. Those are good for the insecticidal spray. You can use red pepper if you don't have actual like hot red peppers like cayenne. You can use apple cider vinegar. That's also a good additive for that. You can also add some oil. So any kind of oil that you have in your kitchen, you can mix that in. Make sure you shake it really good so everything is distributed before you start spraying. And all of those things can be added to your insecticidal soap solution to make it more effective for a bigger range of issues. Let me just check my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope, that's pretty much it. So I don't see any questions. This one was a really quick one. I guess I can mix up some for you guys. I do not measure anything, but I will be very gentle with this soap solution. This is not a gallon. This is 32-ounce capacity. So this is a quarter. This is a quarter. This is a quarter of a gallon. And you also want to make sure that you're using good water. So if you have really hard water, it's not going to be as effective. So in that case, you want to use distilled water or some kind of bottled water. And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit in here. My goal is to get about a quarter of a tablespoon. That's good. And since we've got all this stuff down here, it's going to add a splash of apple cider vinegar. Ooh, that smells. And some peppermint essential oil, even though I use peppermint in my, or peppermint scented Castile soap. And a little bit of olive oil. So I'm just eyeballing that, but remember you're normally gonna make these the proportions to a gallon, and this is not a gallon container. So what I would do in the morning after I watered my plants is I would come out with this, shake it up, make sure it's all distributed, and then spray my plants down on the tops of the leaves and the bottom of the leaves. You want to make sure you're getting the tops and the bottoms because that's usually where you find aphids and spider mites hiding, is underneath the leaves. And then when it dries, you can just wash it off. So that is insecticidal soap in a nutshell. It's really easy to make at home, or you can buy in the store. If you're buying in a store, follow the directions. If there's no questions on this for tonight, then I will let you guys go. Stay safe, wash your hands, stay home, and see you on Thursday. Bye.